How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 5th of December 2022. So we are into the month of December. First week in. A couple of things I want to quickly mention. Just expect a little bit of slowdown. It is possible we get some volatility during this month, so it's very important to be mindful of that. And this can be, pretty much any asset class. It's not just necessarily cryptocurrency, it's pretty much everything, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen, and just one thing I want to mention, obviously, I've had a few DMs and I've been back and forth with a few people discussing this, this kind of yearly Santa Claus rally, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, and I think I've said this a few times. I think this year is very different. We're in a very strange time, regarding what's happening globally, regarding what's happening with, sort of world economies. I keep mentioning inflation, which is obviously running rampant. We see the effect that it has on people, and this is why I keep saying this. So just be mindful of that. We may be caught out. For me, it's more about caution and just being patient going into next year. There's really no need, to put yourself at risk in the markets when it's unnecessary. So let's get over to the calendar for this week. Monday, today, we've got ISM service. So just be careful. 3 o'clock should get some volatility, Forex, stock market. Tomorrow, we've got the Australian dollar cash rate. Wednesday, Canadian dollar. Thursday, not a great deal going on Thursday, to be honest. I mean, unemployment claims can move the market. And then obviously Friday, PPI, core PPI, preliminary UOM, consumer sentiment. I mean, all of these Friday, they can cause volatility in the market and generally do. Because it's scattered throughout the week, we'll probably get either nothing going into Friday or just the whole week's just going to be nuts. Yeah. So definitely something to be mindful of. So let's get over to cryptocurrency. Obviously getting a little bit of a lift, on Bitcoin. If it does go up, we know where it's going. There's this area up here, probably 18.2, doesn't change anything for me personally. You look at Binance, you can see that Binance, through all of this, we're basically stuck between these two fractals. It's not really doing much, bouncing back and forth, this aggressive move. We know what that was. Obviously the acquisition of FTX didn't happen. Pretty obvious, really. And then obviously this, a little bit of a bounce recently. Now we're just getting 2 weeks of crap, and this is, the start of this week now that we're on. Again, still expecting 235. Nothing's really changed. If we do run up a little bit, fine, whatever, it's no big deal. But again, why bother engaging, now when it's unnecessary? We're going into the close of the year. May as well just wait till next year now, until something kind of really kicks in. In terms of Ethereum, somebody did ask me to take a quick look at Ethereum. And again, nothing's really changed. I maintain and I believe that Ethereum is going to be down at 750 minimum. I think everything needs to correct itself. If you look across the board, and this includes stocks as well. This includes, the Forex market. It includes pretty much any asset class, any market. There's something that I believe is going to happen over time. All right. So going into next year, I think every asset class is going to suffer, at some point. I mean, look, before I say anything else, I obviously have a lot of conversations with a lot of people. Yeah. And that doesn't always mean that these people that I speak to are just, have no idea what's going on in the market. I speak to a lot of traders as well, a lot of investors who've been around for quite some time, we have varying degrees of opinions about what's going to happen in the market. Some people that I know still believe, right, that the markets are going to, the rally going into next year. First quarter, second quarter of next year, we're going to start to see, some really big volume coming back into the market. I personally don't believe that because the sentiment simply isn't there. You've got a lot of people that are going to be suffering and struggling going into next year. As things continue to increase, the cost of living continues to increase. They're not going to be thinking about investing in the market. Everything's about psychology and human behavior. It's not about what we look at on the charts. Yeah. There are certain asset classes, that we can look at and we can say, okay, there's a particular asset class that does, like we need to be paying more attention, for example, to the tape. We need to be paying more attention to the market makers. Stocks are very similar in that respect. You look at the stock market, and reading the time and sales, reading the tape, reading the actual order flow, seeing what the market makers are doing, and so on. This matters. In Forex, not so much. You can get away with using technical analysis, using, just basic support and resistance, things like this. With things like, the technical analysis side of things, the charting side of things, it doesn't take away the fundamentals of what's happening around the world. It doesn't take away the core problems that people are having and not being able to afford the cost of living currently, right? And that's going to continue to increase until it doesn't reverses and starts going the other way. That's not, for me, I haven't seen any indication that that's the case at all yet. So be mindful of that, and this is why I keep insisting to be patient. And I firmly believe that we are going to start to see lower prices, 750 on, Ethereum, potentially if we just go over to the S&P, where are we? So SPYs, we're getting a pretty decent lift, right, on the SPYs. Now, I showed something recently, and just to quickly backtrack a second, I do believe we are going to get the second, in this case, we've got one leg down, a little bit of a rally and a second leg down, just to run deeper into this, maybe 3-4, possibly 3-2. But check this out. You look at the Dow, very exaggerated in its movement. Yeah, so there's the Dow. There's the S&P, and then look at tech. Tech's getting battered, man. Tech's getting absolutely battered. Yeah, this matters. This matters. All of these subtle clues, that we're seeing in the marketplace give us a very good indication that we're not going to see, a huge rally going into the remainder of the year. We're not going to see, the start of next year being something absolutely spectacular and everybody's happy again and, everything's just off it goes. We are headed for some pretty crappy times, but we're also headed for some incredible opportunities as well. So we need to be on point. Got to be careful, right? So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I will be doing some live streams. Yeah, so just be mindful of that as well. They will be forthcoming. I'm going to be checking things today just to make sure everything's working properly. And then I'll kind of schedule, a live stream this week. We'll jump on, ask some questions, just basically just talk and have a chat and just, a little bit of banter as well. And with all that said, if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll chat to you guys soon. All the best. Take care.